Hello, everybody, and welcome to the launch of Karm Yogi, a book by author Ramesh Areja, who has done prolific work previously as well. So, I'm going to read a little bit about Mr. Ramesh Areja, and then we will hear from the man himself. So, Ramesh Areja is a banker by profession, but a writer from the heart. He has done different kinds of writings, both being a devotee of Shiva. His stories and poems often reflect the spiritual aspect, which never fails to mesmerize his readers. An aspiring screenwriter and also a member of Screenwriters Association of India. He has been brought up in Bhopal, and his writing style is as fluid as the city of the lake itself. Now, Ramesh is not only a writer, but a mentor as well. When he realized that many people working in the banking industry were from non commerce backgrounds, he started giving free mentoring sessions every Sunday. He didn't just stop there. His first book, The Number Crunchers, was an accountancy guide that has helped thousands of people. He has also created an app, Commerce Money, where he teaches on weekends. Extraordinary Fate of an Ordinary Man was his first attempt at fiction, which went on to become an Amazon bestseller. He has also written some beautiful short stories like Divine Dance and Surya. Karm Yogi is his latest piece, which is on mythological fiction and is now available on Amazon. So, welcome, Mr. Ramesh Areja. It's an honor to be part of this book launch with you. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your book?
Thank you, Kapil sir. Actually, the the Karm Yogi is regarding a person who is at the crossroad of the road, crossroad of the life, where he need to make a decision about his life, what he needs to do. Like how every person, or you can say every student at right of the start of their career, they face. Right, not only at the start of the career, but during the life as well. We need to make a lot of choices whenever we are there. Like we are, whatever we are today, it is because of a choice we made yesterday, right? So that book is dependent upon that. If you are making the right choice, your life ahead will be smooth. If you are going on a wrong path, definitely the life ahead will not be that it will be a bumpy ride, kind of a thing, you can say.
Okay. So let me ask a few questions. How do you think Karm Yogi would resonate with everyone?
See, as I told you, said that this is with regard to the confusions of the life, the crossroads of the life, and the problem we face each and every day. During our whatever we are doing it. Suppose a student during his studying part, the problems he's facing, or as a working professional, we are at that road, that point where we want to pursue our passion, but we somehow we have to go to the for earning something. We have to do that thing which we don't like. According to a research, that 75% of the workforce is doing the thing which they don't like. That is why they hate going to job, right? So this is about that. This is about finding your passion and doing whatever it may it takes to do to achieve that thing. So I have resonated, this the readers will resonate if they have listened to Ramayana or Mahabharata. Like Karn, the character from Mahabharata, the epic, is also the same character. Like he is in search of his identity, like my protagonist Shivansh. He's also in search of his identity, and later on, due to the wrong company of Duryodhan, he went onto the wrong path. He had a lot of brilliant abilities. He was son of Surya, the god, but he went on the wrong path due to the wrong company. So that book teaches us, if you are in the right company, and if you, even after facing a lot of discrimination or injustice, even if you are sticking to the right path, definitely one day you will see the light of the day.
And what made you write Karm Yogi?
Karm Yogi, actually, it is based on a real life experiences of one of my very good friend, Mr. Nitesh Chaube. He is a mentor. He's running an institute, Judiciary Institute in Bhopal. So actually, this is his story. Not all. It's a mix of a fiction, but some part of the story is derived from his real life incident. And he kept on telling me that more about more. I was more interested in in his lifestyle, because I have been seeing him from last, say, 15, 18 years, how he's struggling and all those things. And the way he got married during this corona, It was really dramatic. So I thought it could be a perfect plot, for a book. So it's basically Karma Yogi will be in two part. This is the part one, and after that the sequel is also planned. So I have kept the book at a cliffhanger, which readers will want to know, like what will happen, like how they did in Bahubali, that Katappa ne Bahubali ko kyun mara, like that kind of a thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm very intrigued about the second one. So your previous book, Extraordinary Fate of an Ordinary Man, is also in the same genre. Why are you so inclined in this genre?
See, as you rightly said at the beginning, that I am an ardent follower of Lord Shiva. So you can say, I can say I keep on getting these messages from universe, to send these messages to the people across, to spread this message rather in a way of a book. So that definitely, I like to write the mythological fiction. Not only I speak about mythology, but I mix it with the real life incident, so that, the new reader, the new generation, if they are not, interested in mythology, they will relate to the realistic stories which I'm telling. In a way, it will be in the book there will be two part, right? I mean, two stories going on. One is the mythological, and same it will resonate to your real life story. See, I have a podcast channel also, where is Modern Mahabharata Tales, where, I keep on telling about how the life of, how in each of us, Duryodhan is there, Karna reside in each of us, the Arjun reside in each of us, and Krishna reside in each of us. It is up to us which voice we hear. Normally our intuition, which says that you have to do this, we normally avoid that. We listen to our mind. So mind is, makes us confused, like Duryodhan. It will ask us to go onto the wrong path, take the shortcuts. But your inner voice, your concise, Krishna will tell you the right thing to do. That the book is all about that, which I wanted to spread across.
Sure, I couldn't agree more. I myself have the same belief that most of the times people are not good or bad or even gray. People are in the relationship with somebody, they come out a certain way. In a relationship with you, a person may be great, maybe very positive, while with somebody else he may be the most negative character. So I couldn't agree more with the with your thought that every individual has their own approach to how they come out, and it's not really, everybody has a Duryodhan in them, and a Ram in them, and a Krishna in them, and a Karan in them. Right. Fantastic. Now, I know that you are in a 9-to-5 job, and you are not in one of those 9-to-5 jobs where you have a lot of time. So how do you manage? How do you do the balance between your job as well as your writing?
See, I saw one of the video of Arnold, and where he kept on talking about, everybody gets 24 hours. So how you utilize that 24 hours, that makes you, different from others. Suppose if I'm a writer, right? I'm a banker by profession, but as you told that I like writing, love writing. So I need to make some time for that. So what I do is, in the morning when I get up, and I get up at 5:30, then I do my physical, exercise and all. Then after that, I take a 1 hour time out and write something, or read something. Then in Mumbai, I'm living in Mumbai, there is a commutation time from, office to work, and home to work and all that. So daily I am, traveling 4 hours, 2 hours going, 2 hours coming. So I make sure that on these 4 hours, I'm utilizing the time to the fullest. I have a Kindle in my bag, I have a books in my bag, so either I diary also, either I write something if some thought comes to me, for either I write or I read something, or on some days I watch Netflix also.
Sure. In fact, I have been using the voice recorder prolifically myself as well. So I would be driving, there is a thought around a blog or an article or something that comes up. I would usually just turn on the recorder, record it, and then send it out to somebody in the team to say, hey, can you write a blog around that? So I absolutely, agree that everybody has 24 hours. It is not about what all you did not achieve or what all you did not do. It is more about how are you going to plan everything out, and how will you do what you are meant to do. Yes. Okay, great. With that, let me ask my next question. So your profile says that you are part of the Screenwriters Association.
Yeah.
Now, does that automatically mean that when your book comes out and it's going to be successful, it will get converted into a movie or a web series? Can I look forward to that?
Yeah, actually, it's not only about the book. See, I am also writing a web series story from last 1.5 year, and it is almost on the completion stage. I am being mentored by the writers of Bhool Bhulaiya Bhagam Bhag, Mrs. Manisha Korde,
Okay.
so the Bollywood writer, and couple of others who are new to the Bollywood. The one who has written the Sacred Games. These all are my mentors. So I am into it. I am hopefully by in a year or two that's my web series story will come out. With regard to the book Extraordinary Fate of an Ordinary Man, I have already submitted the book to a script writing lab, to SWA, which is officially, if I am selected, then definitely it will be made into a movie.
Fantastic. I certainly look forward to that. Now, in this book, did your protagonist Shivansh, did he really achieve what he wanted to achieve, or is that kept for the second version, for the sequel?
No, actually, and by the end of the book, because we have to give some respite to the protagonist, right? You cannot show him struggling all through the book, although he has been struggling 80% of the book, but somehow he got what he wanted, but still he's not happy. I mean, once you read the book, you will get to know why he's not happy. Like it happens with all of us, right? When we wanted to achieve something, and if we have struggled so much now, then the joy of that achievement goes away. You see that if something is you are getting very easily, or after a bit of a hard work, then it's okay, then you will enjoy that success. But every now and then, from a lot of years, you are struggling, and finally when you achieve that, you don't seem to enjoy that. That is the irony of the life, right? So that is a thing which you will be seeing the book once you will get it in your hand.
Sure, that is fantastic. And I certainly agree with you. And I think it's not just a question of whether you achieve what you wanted to achieve. It's also a question of the goalpost keeps moving.
Right.
So, you're out to achieve X. And by the time you get to X, you already have your next 2 or 3 targets in mind, and it just keeps moving on. So it's
Right.
really never really a question of did you achieve what you wanted to achieve, but it's more a question of where are you headed and how are you going to look at everything as life moves on. So
Right.
let me ask one more question, Ramesh. I know that you are currently in a job, and then you are writing the web series, and then you are doing other writing. You're coming out with this book, Karma Yogi. When is it that you might, or is that even on the horizon? When is it that you might make the jump into a full-time writer or a full-time screenwriter?
Definitely, I have an intuition that it's right. It's around the corner somewhere. I just need to make some things, in a line, and definitely I'll be quitting my job very soon, and I'll be coming full as a full-time writer. And see, I feel writing is in my vein. I mean, whenever if somebody gives something to me, especially the creative writing, where you need to create a story like a fiction and all those things, so it comes automatically to me. So if somewhere, if like my daughter is also has become a very dramatic, right, like me, because I write drama, so she has become a dramatic. So the thing is, it comes naturally to me. So I believe, I should obey that. I should, respect that call, which universe is, sending the signals to me that you have to do. See, if I was not meant to be a writer, I've been sitting with you right now, right? So I have come this far. That means, something is there. I have to respect that thing from the universe. I believe in that.
Sure. So how supportive is your company in your writing? Or
Well,
do they not participate in it at all?
Well, the thing is, company is very supportive, but they also need my time from the full time, whatever time I'm giving. But what I do is, if you like something, suppose if you like cricket, right? When whatever organization you are, you will find a way to play cricket in that organization, right?
Sure.
So that's what I do. If there are a lot of competition goings on, the magazines of my organization, where they keep on publishing something. If someone has written something good, so I am, publishing that thing. So they have recognized. I have also shared my earlier book with a lot of executives of my bank, and it was based on the banking, so they all liked it. Like the story was based of a banker, so they all liked it, and they support me really well. But they will support me till the time, I'm giving that the proper time. If I'm devoting more time to the writing, then definitely the things will not be the same.
Sure. So, since you think the organization has been very supportive, why don't we give them a little bit of branding and have you tell their name as well?
I work for Union Bank of India.
Union Bank of India.
Yeah, as a senior manager in Mumbai.
And what sort of support do you get in your immediate and your extended family and your friend circle around your writing?
See, my main support is my wife, Preeti. So she keeps on, I keep on discussing her the female part. Like suppose if I'm writing the female, right? So I need to know the point of view of female. What would be the point of view of the female, right? So suppose in my web series, if I talk about my web series, when I was writing the side characters, so side characters were quite a few female characters. So it was not coming out. Mentor was saying that it is not coming out like how it should come out. So I keep on discussing the things with my wife, and she would come out of the idea like, if I was in that situation, I would do like that, and all those stuff. And yeah, my mother is also supporting my daughter, especially, when I come from office, and if I have something very urgent to write, I just ask her to, excuse me for not playing with her on that particular night. So yes, he also understands that, yes, he writes. My father also writes a lot. So she says, my daughter says that you are doing a double duty, right? Banking, and then at home also you are sitting on the laptop. So I am apologetic to her also, for not giving that much of a time when I am working on a project. Obviously, when I'm not working, all my time is theirs. So that is how they are supporting me. Friends as well. Friends also, motivate me without even asking me. They purchase my book and they post a review, or they post on their Insta stories and all that. So that is the support which I'm getting from them.
That is fantastic. Looks like you have a whole bunch of really good people around you, both in your household as well as in your friend circle and in your company, that are always willing to support. Let me ask another question. So, I wrote a book and I recently got it published. You are a pro. I'm a debut author. I just have one title that I recently did. But I started writing the book in 2016, I think. I kind of finished it by 2018 and then did nothing about it and picked it up again in 2021 and completed it and got it published. When do you really know that the book that you are writing is now complete? For me, I never felt that it is complete. I always felt, yeah, it's coming out, it's good, but there is a couple of more things that I could do. How do you take that call?
See, when you are writing a story, there is never an end to the story. If you are a writer, not lot of ideas will keep on coming to you. Like I can add this thing also, I can add that thing also. So this thing I've learned from my classes of web series, right? So see, web series, it's a 10 episode, 1 hour, or like that, and it's a seasons, season 1, season 2. So it's a very big story, which, what my idea, I mean, suggestion to you is, you write it, the story, whatever in your head, you write entire thing. It may be 1,000 pages, but nobody will read a book of 1,000 pages, isn't it? So what you do is you divide it in parts. Sure. Leave that book on a cliffhanger, on a very important point which reader want to know. So like you can come with a series of the books, like in this, like Karma Yogi, as I told you, it's a series of 2 or 3 books maybe, because two books I have story is ready, but I can keep on increasing it any time, right? So if you are thinking that I should increase, I should write more on this story, definitely you can come up with a sequel or series 2, series 3, like that.
So Ramesh, you do so much as an author, as in your profession. You write books about accounting, you write fiction books, you've also done poetry. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm so honored to be in touch with you. And I really think this book and your web series are going to be amazing. I'm personally looking forward to it. I will definitely be watching the web series it is out, and I hope this book also gets converted into a movie or a web series as you go on. And in advance, look forward to the sequel of this book as well.
Thank you so much, Kapil. Thank you.
Anything else? Any closing comments that you would like to give our audience?
See, the thing is, which I always see, as I told you, I mean, I say on my that podcast channel as well. Like you rightly said, nobody is perfect. Nobody is black and white, right? Everybody is a hero in somebody else's book, and maybe a villain in my book, right? So the thing is, you should not judge people. You are not in their shoe, and you don't know what they have gone through, right, to
Sure.
come up to this place. Like if I talk about myself, I've been through a lot. I am one of the blessed person who has identified his calling, identify his passion. So the thing is, don't run after 9 to 5. They will be offering a lot of big packages to you. But at the end of the day, when I am on my deathbed, so I should not regret about my life, that I could have done more on it. So as it is rightly said, that it is not on the deathbed that you die. It is you die when you let the passion inside you die. So if you are good at something, you develop that and do that. There is nothing, no bigger feeling, no bigger happiness than that. Even if you become a MD of a bank or a CEO of a company, but if you are not enjoying what you are doing, then my friend, then definitely you need to relook into it. So that is my only thing. Follow your passion with all your heart, and don't be bogged down by the failures. It will come again and again, and it will boost you, it will motivate you, and at the end of the day, when you are success, you will be laughing at your mistakes and your failures. So that is the point I want to tell the readers, and this book especially talks about this, that how difficult it is to survive or to achieve whatever you want to achieve in this world.
So follow your passion. Don't worry about your misses or about your failures. They are all part of the game.
Yes.
Insightful. Thank you so much for that, Ramesh. And we really look forward to more coming out of you.
Thank you, Kapil.
Thank you.